How's it going, everyone? My name is WIFFY Real, and you guys are on the WIFFY Real podcast today, man. And as you guys can tell, if you've been following us for a minute now, you'll notice that we're not in our traditional studio, man. And there's a story behind that, which I'll share with you guys on the socials after this podcast, man. But for 2026, we're doing something different, man. We're going to be going to people's spots to interview them on the pod, man. And today, we are live here with my man, Steve, owner and top chef of the area of Tempo. But you know what, Steve? I'll let you introduce yourself, man. I'll let you tell the people the name of your restaurant and stuff like that, man. But I just wanted to give you a quick intro. But before I do, man, I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be here.
Welcome, my man.
Thank you for opening up your doors, literally.
Yeah, literally open the doors.
Yeah, man. And for allowing us to come and having a chat with you, man. I know that you've been an entrepreneur for a while. You know, you've been in the restaurant business for quite a minute now, so you're a wealth of knowledge, man. And I'm excited to talk to you because, man, this is a great spot. The community loves it. And yeah, man, so kick it away, man.
Well, yeah, no, first I want to thank you because, you know, when we talked and when you said, you know, we wanted to do this podcast, you talked about the studio, and then you were like, you know, let's go on location, let's do this thing. So we decided to do it here at my restaurant, Tempo Urban Bistro, located in the heart of Verrado. But dude, this is legit. Okay, if you can't see what's going on around us, but man, there's lights, there's cameras, there's a soundboard. We got 2 tech guys, or 1.5 tech guys over there. We got WIFFY's son, he's kind of a half man, but it's legit, dude. I'm like I said, I thought I was gonna have a couple iPads or iPhones on a tripod that were just doing this, but no. And then you got the voice and everything. It's like, wow, I'm like with DJ Whiff here, you know?
Dude, so, when he says go, man, I have to turn it on.
I know, man. Who is this guy?
We're here live at Tempo, man.
Here we are. Place to be.
Yeah, place to be, man.
Yeah,
it's happening right now.
It is, yeah.
If you're watching, you'll probably hear a little ambient noise. That's just because we're here and it's live and you have customers, man. You have customers right now.
Hopefully we don't hear too many plates breaking tonight or anything like that. But.
Dude, so please tell us, man, how did you get started? How did you open up the restaurant? Kind of give us the origin, the genesis of your story, man.
Yeah, well, the genesis of my story starts way, way back, man. I grew up in my grandmother's kitchen, my Italian grandmother. I like to tell people I was rolling ravioli at 5 years old. And it's always been in my blood. My grandfather owned 2 restaurants in Manhattan. My grandmother's mother, so my great-grandmother, owned a restaurant in Manhattan. I'm originally from New York.
Okay.
Born in the Bronx, raised outside upstate, outside of Rochester. But it's what I've done my whole life. It's all I aspire to do. I used to talk to my grandfather. I'm going to be a chef. He says, "You want to eat the food. You don't want to cook it." I've been down that road, and it's a tough life, but it's a passion of mine. It's what I do. Been doing it my whole life, literally my whole life. And moved out to Verrado. Man, I'm going on almost 20 years. 2007, I came out here. So,
Get out, dude.
This will be 19 years this July. And worked around the valley a little bit. And then prior to opening the restaurant, I was working at a place, and I just felt like it was time. And I left that job, and my wife at the time was like, you know, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to open a restaurant. She's like, you need a job. So I was kind of on this quest. I was living in Verrado on this quest to find a restaurant. And my goal was, I'm moving downtown. I'm going to open this bistro. I'm going to do all this great stuff. And she's still like, you need a job. So believe it or not, I went and sold cars for about a year. I was a car salesman.
No way, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. Well, I was driving a Jeep Wrangler at the time, and my buddy sold it to me. And Robert, if you're listening, you get all the credit for getting me that job. But really, I said, if Robert could sell cars, anybody can. So, so I went and did that while I was in the search for a location, and it was kind of a crazy thing, man. I was living down what I call the entrance to Verrado, way downtown there, and there was a restaurant in this location, and someone had mentioned, hey, did you know they went out of business up there? And I didn't come up to Main Street a lot. I had no reason to, really, other than if we ran to Bashes. And so I grabbed my dog, and we took a walk. I peeked inside the windows, called my real estate agent. I said, let's go check out that location. It's right here in my hometown. And it all came together, man. And 2013, in September, we opened. We used to have a coffee bar when you first walked in, so we really had two businesses in one. Our banner will still say Tempo Urban Bistro and Coffee Bar because that's technically our legal name.
Interesting, dude.
And people are always like, "Where's the coffee bar?" It's like, well, we got, I can do a French press for you or something.
Yeah.
But and the banner, the sign will eventually be changed when we came up with a new logo and stuff. But anyhow, came up here, we opened the restaurant, opened the coffee bar, and then we remodeled this whole side, opened this up, and we opened this place with 80 seats. We had a small bar. And then we eventually blew out our front, took our French doors, we put a patio, put the garage doors open, gave us another 24 seats on the patio. And then this last 2024, we ripped open that whole front end. And you probably remember when it was a smaller restaurant, put a huge bar right at the entrance and really did a full remodel of the whole place. And it's just been a blessing, man. We're just so blessed in that everything has gone the right way. But it was a long time coming, and it's all I wanted to do in my life is own a restaurant.
Dude, what a story, man. What a story. You gave us the gist of the entire story. I'm sure there's more details in there, man.
Yeah, I can go on forever, man.
Dude, but just going back real quick, man. So for those of you guys listening and don't know where Verrado is, we're in Arizona, in the state of Arizona, in the city of Buckeye, man. And Verrado is a community in that city, man. It's a beautiful community. It's got like a Leave It to Beaver kind of vibe, man.
That hometown feel.
Hometown feel. There's a lot of people that walk around and stuff like that. And once you're in here, if you do end up living here, it's hard to leave, man. Just real quick, I remember when we were first coming out to scout, Arizona, I randomly pulled up at the gas station in the front, and my wife's like, "Hey, why don't you turn right here, man?" And it was one of those things where I like regret it and don't, because I could never get her out after that day. She's like, "If we move to Arizona, it's gonna be there, dude."
Yeah, and there's a lot of those stories, and like WIFFY said, man, if you're coming to Arizona, if you're gonna relocate here, or if you're in Arizona looking for a new location, man, check out Verrado. It is a master plan community.
Yes.
How many parks we got?
Yeah,
70,
dude,
80
crazy.
parks.
Yeah.
2 swim parks.
For sure.
Hiking trails everywhere. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's incredible,
amazing.
man.
And
it's
some awesome restaurants.
Yes.
I know.
Yes. Yeah, like Tempo, man.
Yeah.
Right on the corner right there, too, man.
Yeah, it's a cold beer.
Yeah, dude. By the way, great beer, man.
Thank you.
Cheers. Dude, and you know what? I don't want to talk a lot about that specifically, but just to kind of expound on what you just said, dude, like we live on the very far west side of town. And I mean, I've been to the east side, I've been to other places, and there really is no community like Verrado, man. So I just want to give a shout out to all our Verrado residents, fellow mates, and leaders, man.
Yeah.
Love you guys, dude. But yeah, man, going back to you and your restaurant, dude. So real quick. So when you decide to open the restaurant, man, were there any fears that you were feeling or anything like that? Or were you pretty gung-ho? Like, I know you were mentioning that your wife was saying like, "Hey man, you need a job." And I understand that feeling. But what kind of drove you to say, "You know what, I'm going to take the risk," and give us a little bit of the behind the scenes of how you ended up taking that risk? Obviously, what you feel comfortable with, and how we got here, man.
It was really a long time planning this out. Like, I was committed to doing it, and I would say my garage looked like a restaurant supply house. I was buying equipment. I was buying pots and pans, glassware. I mean, we didn't park in a garage. There was equipment in there. So I was like, when I find this place, I'm doing it. I was preparing for years and years and years. But yeah, man, it was scary. It was really scary doing it. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, you don't have that paycheck anymore, man. The man isn't paying you. And it's like, how do you make sure that you can make things work? And thank God my wife had a great job, my ex-wife, and she was very supportive of it. And then it was just a lot of hard work. I put in days, months, years of not taking time off, of missing a lot of things. But I was doing that through my career. I was back in New York running some high-end golf clubs and stuff, doing 100 weddings a year and golf tournaments and stuff. So, you miss the kids' birthdays. I missed a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of regrets about that. But it's what sacrifices we make to get to the level that we want to be at. And it's just what I did. So the biggest fear was that, man. How do you make things work? How do you do this? And will the customers come? Will they like what I want? And we always stuck to our brand of what we wanted to be, but you also have to stick to what your customers are willing to contribute back. You know, am I going to serve A5 Wagyu beef every day? Yeah, I'd love to, but no one's buying it. You know,
Right.
we could do it occasionally, maybe here and there, but we're not that restaurant. So a lot of what we did, and I tell this to all my friends who are getting in this business. I don't care what you want to do, man. Listen to your customers. Listen to your guests. When I first opened, I said, we're about food. We're going to have some cool music, some artwork. It's going to be a vibe, man. And everybody's going to love the food. And it's all of a sudden they're like, where's your TVs? I'm like, dude, this isn't about TVs. Enjoy yourself. But there's a game on. And it was, we opened the restaurant in October. And then Black Friday, I went out and paid $500 for 2 TVs and put them up. The very first weekend, there was a basketball game on. The bar was full, and it went into overtime, and everybody ordered another drink. And I looked and said,
Awesome.
They just paid for those TVs, man. You got to listen because I wouldn't even had those people at the bar, let alone now we got an extra drink out of everybody because now the game, it's like ASU, U of A is playing, and everybody's watching it. And it's like, I just sat there kind of like an aha moment where like, dude, you got to listen to your guests. Your guests are the ones who are going to tell you what they want and what they're willing to pay for. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of choices out there. I say it all the time, man. And we are so grateful that anybody is going to, I just got a peeked away. Wendell Crow just stopped up with a goat. And this guy delivered, I got to invite him in here and get him on camera real quick because this is crazy that he just showed up. This is who we are as a community. Wendell Crow of Crow's Dairy. We buy our goat cheese from him, and he's delivering the goat cheese. And he's right here. Is there any way we can get him in this podcast?
Is he in the camera?
One of my employees to town.
With a goat, dude. This is unreal. This is how. Look at this,
Dude, straight from the source,
dude.
man.
So,
Yeah, fresh product there.
Yes, we have fresh product. How great is this, dude? Have you ever thought something like this? This is ultra fresh, man. This Wendell Crow, Crow's Dairy, look him up. Makes our goat cheese that we use here, and he's delivering it and brings a friend along with him. How
Get
great.
out, dude.
Yes.
What a treat,
Bring my
man.
employees to town.
Yes, it's so good. Great seeing you, sir. Thank you. Wow, man, dude, that's what it's about, man. This community is like, right down the road, we have some of the best goat cheese in the world being made, you know, and we order it. I mean, he's brought it to us. He's like, Steve, it's still warm. I made it it came this morning, put it in the fridge, you know. It's unreal. This was
Dude,
so surreal.
not many restaurants can say that, dude.
No, and
straight from the source, man.
Straight from the source, and that's Wendell Crow, Crow's Dairy, delivering it himself with a goat under his arm. Wow,
dude, talk about marketing right there, dude.
Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he set that up."
Yeah.
That's good. Who's gonna show up next? The cow guy walking a cow through his dining room. But no,
we'll
awesome.
cue you for the next guy.
Yes,
dude. No,
yes.
I'm kidding. Right on, man.
the donkey. Yes.
That's funny, dude.
Dude, that was awesome. That was so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know where we left off.
Yeah, let's go back to talk real quick. So we were talking about you getting started, you launching and stuff like that. You were talking about how you were already buying things. It seems like you were taking micro steps, dude, that compounded to you now opening up your restaurant.
Absolutely, and we were talking about, you know, the guest experience and what the customers want, and I learned very quickly. That was one thing I, as an operator, chefs are arrogant. I'll put it right out. They're all, you know, we're all arrogant in some way. Some very, very much worse than others. But I try to be very humble about everything I do, and there was a lot of arrogance in me. It's like, you know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Like, for instance, one of my first things on my menu, I did a sweet chili chicken wing with a celery root puree and some Maytag blue cheese and petals of celery on the plate. And people are like, can we get some chicken wings? And you know what? I had another moment. It's like, I'm from upstate New York. I was an hour from Buffalo. Chicken wings were our life. So on our menu, all of a sudden, it's like, you know, we're going to do this. We're going to call them true buffalo wings. And everybody's like, what's a true buffalo wing? Well, it comes with blue cheese dressing, first of all. Ranch dressing is not in our vocabulary from New York. You say, you ask for ranch dressing in Buffalo, they're going to throw you out. So it was like this thing, and it's like, you know, we're not a wing house. We're kind of we call ourselves fine food, not fine dining, because we buy good ingredients, we buy local ingredients, but we just do them the right way, and we don't buy a lot of frozen product, but we listen to our guests. There you go. We sell chicken wings. We're not a wing house, but we sell a good amount every week for bar customers and stuff like that. But it was a thing, you know. The wings were cool, celery root puree, sweet chili sauce, but it's not what my guests wanted, not what they were willing to pay for. So that's the biggest thing that I always found out is just listen, man. You know, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, they say, for a reason.
Right,
you know?
right. Dude, you know what? So you hit the nail on the head on that one, dude. And ultimately, when we're in business such as this, and in any business, I would say, man, ultimately our goal is to serve, right? So it does require a level of humility, man, which I commend you for, to listen to your customers and actually, accommodate to the best of your ability without harming your brand or your direction, and it seems like you've done that pretty well, man.
Yeah, one thing we train our staff on is the answer is always yes. The first thing we need to come out of their mouth is yes. Whether it's even if you think you can't do it. Hey man, can I get, I don't know, can you soak my steak in vinegar and marinate it for me and then put it on the grill? Yes, let me check with the chef on that one, see if we can do that. But it's one of the things we always want to lead with a yes, because we're trying. We will do whatever the guest wants. And, no, I don't want to soak a steak in vinegar. We buy good meat, but if you want it that way, we'll take care of you. And I think that's very, very important, where a lot of the arrogance kind of comes back into it again. And, we're a scratch kitchen. And by that, I mean everything's made in-house. And I say everything, probably 90% of what we do is made in-house. There's a few things that, we buy sausage every once in a while from Shriners downtown, and they've been making sausage for, I think since the 80s, and it's some of the best sausage. I can make sausage, but it's really good sausage. Why am I going to try to compete with somebody who's been doing it as a profession for such a long time? So you got to really pick and choose what you can do and how much of. To be 100% scratch is a real tough thing, and I don't think anybody out there is really doing it. But we try to get to that 80-90% scratch. All our sauces, we butcher our own meats, we break down fish. I mean, our hands are in a lot of stuff. And it's all about, like, at the end of the day, is just trial and error. We run a lot of specials, and a lot of times our specials will lead to menu items. It's like, all right, let's run this. Like tonight we have a Corvina. It's a local, they call it local fish. But it's weird. The FDA changed the regulations. Anything within 350 miles you can call local. So it's a local halibut. So it's not like Alaskan halibut, but it's coming out of California. And we're running it today, and we have a lot of luck with it, and people are digging it. It might be one of those items that, in summer we say, hey, remember that Corvina, how well it went on that special? It's summer. Let's do that dish on our summer menu. So it's a lot of trial and error and testing things out with our guests to see what they like and what their needs and wants are. And they'll tell you. Man. They'll tell you, man.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude.
Yeah, they will definitely tell you.
Customer service, I tell you what, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, I want to take it back so then we can take it forward, man. But when you first started here, you mentioned not only was the restaurant a little smaller, man, but you also mentioned that there wasn't a lot of people out here doing business, man. So you started when this whole area was a lot smaller. Now it's exploded exponentially, man, I'm sure, from when you first started. So tell us about that, man. How's it been with the change, or how have you navigated those waters? There's more people coming in, man, but yet you seem to have a high level of traffic still. Dude, I always swing by the road, and when I pass by, I see a lot of people here, man. So tell us, man.
Yeah, and a lot of it relates to our brand, but the one thing is it goes back to embracing it. What I like to do, and I believe that competition's great. People get nervous with competition. We prepare for everything. Back when we were doing lunches, I'll give you a prime example. Back when we were doing lunches, they opened Culver's Burgers was coming. And remember when Culver's came, it was like, oh man, we're getting a Culver's here, right here in down the road. We can go there and get a burger. Because we had no like fast food in this neighborhood. That was like that Taco Bell, and I think we're like the first two. So a week before they opened, we were doing lunches at the time. I came up with this whole cool burger menu. And I was like, the big ad was like, hey, did you hear about the new burger place in town? Yeah, it's here at Tempo, man. Check out our new burger menu. So we kind of play off some of that stuff and kind of embrace it, but I also love it, man. I'm not gonna badmouth competition. We had a restaurant right around the corner here. I go there every Sunday for breakfast. I've done videos there. Welcome to the neighborhood. Rosie's Taco right next door to us. I put them on my website. Grazie Pizzeria right 2 doors down. We share dollars, man. That's what good restaurateurs do with each other.
Right.
They'll come here for some beers. We'll go there for some beers after work. We'll grab a pizza. They'll come over here and grab some wings. We're not competition. We're living off of each other. We're in this community together, and we work together, and it's like, hey man, if you want to try for instance, a coffee shop, hey, where's It says coffee bar. I said, you know what? We close that part, but please go right across the street. Anthem Coffee's over there. Ask for Josh, man. He'll take great care of you. It's that way, and I think you have to be that way. And I'll kind of throw it out there. I know you're entering into this world, man.
Yeah.
And we're going to be nothing but supportive of you because we're looking for everybody in this community to succeed. I would hate it if you go through a community where it's like, oh, that place should be there. No one can be successful in this spot. No one can be, and then it creates a stigma of the area, and nobody wants to come. So, all boats rise with high tides, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
So as everybody rises, we're all going to rise together. We're all going to live off of each other. The Asian bistro that opened, dude, I'm there like 3 times a week. It's like it's ridiculous. I think I'm eating more of their food than I'm eating my own. But it's great because as a chef, as a restaurateur, and as just somebody who loves food, I'm so excited about all the things that are coming. And I want to partner with them and do stuff with them because we all are here. And there's plenty of money to go around, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
There's
man.
plenty. And this area, you know how fast. Look it up. I mean, anybody can look it up. How fast Buckeye is like the 2nd fastest growing city in the country.
Right. Yeah, it's booming, man. It's booming. It's growing like crazy, man.
Yeah. So.
With all that new stores or all those new stores coming in, all that development,
It's
I'm not looking forward to the traffic, man.
I'm not looking forward to Target and Ross and all that and TJ Maxx because I don't think I'll ever see my wife again.
Yeah,
I told her, I said, Dion, you want me to get your mail delivered down there? Because I know where she's going to be all the time.
Dude, as soon as I saw that Target sign, bro, I was like, man, there goes my economy,
I
dog.
know. Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Hey, so cool, man. I like what you said about competition and how you described that, dude, because, before I used to own a food truck, so I never really had a brick and mortar or an establishment, man, but I did custom hot dogs. I don't know if you do that.
I know the WIFFY mobile.
Yeah. And so all that to say, man, when I would go to events and stuff, dude, I would always try to be that guy that said hi to everybody, and get acquainted with the other food trucks and just make them feel like, hey, man, we're all here and we're all going to crush tonight and we're all going to make it,
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that there's plenty of sky for all the birds to fly,
Absolutely.
And, and if more people come in, then that just, what's the word I'm looking for? That should just be the motivator to get our creative juices going, man. Find
Yes.
other creative ways to capture people's attention.
Yeah, and, kind of piggybacking on what you said, creating those relationships like you did with the food trucks. It's like, there had to be times where you're at an event and like, bro, I ran out of napkins. And you have a relationship
Right.
with that guy and you can run, hey, bro, I need a stack. We do it with Ciao Grazie next door. And it's like, just the other day, we're like, hey, man, we're getting low on gloves. My shipment comes in tomorrow. And they're like, bro, here you go. Take what you need. Or, they need, a pound of butter. It's like you kind of live together and you have an ally that's really going to be like, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to defeat you. I'm not here to put you down. And it's happened. There's been times where, people have just, bad-mouthed us or just, oh, that place up there, they're no good. And, but at the end of the day, I just look around and I say, we're doing a good thing here, man. We got a good thing going. Our staff is happy. We have longevity with our staff, which tells a lot, that people stick around and they work hard for us and they're true professionals when they're in this building. And it's like I keep saying how much we're just blessed to have what we have right now. We really are.
Awesome, man. Hey, so real quick, where do you see yourself in 5 years, man? Where do you see Tempo, man? What are the new developments coming in? What are your thoughts on that, man?
My goal is, and I'm a working chef. We are a chef-driven restaurant, and what that means is you have an owner chef who is driving the ship here, and I'm in the kitchen every day. You look at my hands; I got the burns on them. I enjoy cooking, but I got to face reality too. I'm getting to a point in my life where it's like I got to kind of slow down because I still do the 10-hour days, the 7 days a week, and I love it. And I have guys in the kitchen who are, quarter of my age, and they're like, dude, you don't stop. What motivates you? And it's like, I just love what I do. But to answer your question is, eventually I got to get to that point in my life where I'm a restaurateur. And that means I do want to open other locations. I've wanted to do it for my entire life. I want to, not have a monopoly of stuff, but I have a few concepts and ideas that I would really like to launch, from fast casual service up to even more like what we call a fine dining or that type of stuff, and a bunch of things in between. I don't want to really, reveal all my secrets, but I got a couple cool things, and I research the market. And I look at the demographics and what we have here and what the needs and wants are here. And if you go down the road to over there on the corner, you could hit 4 Mexican restaurants with a stone from standing in the middle of the intersection. It's like, why are they putting so many in? And they're all great, don't get me wrong, but it's like they're cannibalizing each other, and I don't understand the logic behind the leasing agents of that one plaza. You got 3 Mexican restaurants and one plaza there, the Fibotes, Macayos, and the Tacos Chilanga, which is the best. Thank you, Arturo. If you know Arturo, you know Tacos Chilangos.
I just saw him pass by right now.
Such a great guy. And that's another thing. He comes in here, we go in there. But, man, it's like, how can you support that? And if I was a developer, I'd like to diversify a little bit so everybody's taking a little piece of the pie. And what I see as an entrepreneur and as a future restaurateur, it's kind of this thing where I kind of get excited about it, but it makes me feel bad because I know that all those can't survive. And as restaurateurs, we love that second generation restaurant because that initial blank slate and the build out is what costs the money. But when you get in with a grease trap, a hood system, equipment, furniture, it's a lot easier. Like when we took over this space, probably on the budget I had at the time, had this been a blank shell, I couldn't do it. But since all the major stuff was done, makes it a little lighter on the pocket. So, it's kind of like, where do you want to put your money? What do you want to do? You got to find the perfect spot. And I've walked away from more deals than you would even imagine because it just isn't the right feel.
Hey, so a little birdie told me, man, that you were thinking up something. Maybe they didn't say they didn't say it as if they knew you. Something they had just heard, and I get it. People just say the darndest things sometimes. But is Scottsdale something that's where you set in your sights, or not really?
Going to Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Verrado, the West Valley is my home.
Okay, cool.
And it's growing so fast. But nothing's out of the question. But I love it out here, and I just the logistics of something like that is not on my radar right now.
I see.
But you never know. I mean, Scottsdale's a whole nother beast that I don't know a lot about. I know stuff's expensive there.
Right.
But I also know rents are expensive there. And, so, nothing's off the table, but really I would love to focus in within 10 miles of us right here, because what the development is like here and what's growing here and what's needed here. And there's a need right here.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, man.
Like, I wouldn't go to Scottsdale and say, I'm going to open a high-end steakhouse and, compete with Mastro, Steak 44.
Right,
I mean, it's just, you'd be just another one up there, but there's needs here, and there's holes that need to be filled.
That's good. Hey, so real quick, man, changing the subject a little bit, dude. So how many years have you been here again, you said?
September would be 13 years.
13 years, man. In those 13 years, what are some crazy stories you've got, man? Share one at least with us. And then also, has there ever been like a celeb or somebody like that, that came into your restaurant and just blew you away, dude?
Yeah, we've had a few instances like that. I mean, it depends on what you call celeb, but yeah. So in the 13 years, dude, we could write a book. I mean, I had servers who were cashing counterfeit money at my, exchanging bills and giving me counterfeit money here.
No.
Oh yeah, people you wouldn't even think of doing it. The theft has been unbelievable by kids that you don't even realize, and it sucks because it's like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
And why are you doing it? We gave you a job, we did this. And at the end of the day, we've gone down through that, and I always have a big heart, and I'm always like, just try to make amends with us or try to do this. I don't like to, get ruin people's lives. And I, raised 3 girls, and I always thought, if one of them screwed up, I just wish somebody had some grace with them and gave them a second chance. And maybe it's not the way I should be, but a lot of times it has been. But the customer interactions have been unbelievable. Reviews. Restaurant reviews are the ones that kill me the most. one example, we had a lady come in one night who ordered a steak extra well done. And I'll tell you, we buy great beef here. Extra well done. This thing is just leather. She asks for some steak sauce. We make a house-made steak sauce, which is really good. Like, people are like, dude, you should bottle this and sell it. It's so good. It's house-made steak sauce. We gave it to her. I want A1 steak sauce. We don't have it. She gave us a 1-star review because her piece of leather that she ate didn't have A1 steak sauce for it. And it's like, you can't control those things, but we've had it all. We're a restaurant. I've always said I don't want to own a bar. We don't like that bar crowd. We've had some instances where we've had to get rid of some people and escort them out or ask them to leave nicely. But some celeb stuff. Spring training brought a lot of baseball players here.
Right on.
So
dude.
we met some. I became really good friends with Travis Jankowski. He ended up with San Diego. He actually, crazy story was, we went to see the Diamondbacks play. He was playing for Texas. And my wife and I went. We had really great seats in the outfield, and we watched him. So it was kind of bittersweet. The D-backs lost, but like Travis was literally sitting on the field right in front of me when they won the World Series. And I watched this kid from the minors grow up and went to San Diego, and we saw him play there, and we kind of still would chat over text messages and stuff. But we saw a lot of those kids come through spring training. We still get a lot of them. And every once in a while, one of those guys would kind of make it, and you're like, dude, I know that guy. I've had some. I knew one guy. He ran a bunch of professional boxers, and we had some really cool professional boxers in here. He had a whole. And of course, I'm drawing the blank on it. There's a kid out of Ahwatukee that fought, and he got really far in it. But a lot of those guys would come in. As far as actor type stuff, we actually had a girl working for us, Callie, who was in a couple feature movies, and she worked for us. She was an aspiring actress, so that was kind of cool.
Dude.
Yeah, I'll never forget one of my wife and I, when we first started dating, I was like, hey, you got to come over to the house. Let's just chill and watch a movie. And I just threw the movie on, and she's like, oh my God, it's Callie. I'm like, yeah, it's the coolest thing. We're just literally working with her earlier, and I brought her over to the house, and we're watching Callie on a movie that she did. So
that's cool, man.
It was really cool. A lot of things come through here, man, and a lot of personalities, a lot of just stuff even without the whole realm of the celebrity stuff, just interesting people from all walks of life you get to talk to. And it's just really cool. A lot of things that we like to do is, with the wines and stuff, we're starting a series of wine dinners coming up through the spring. So April, May, June, July, and August, we're going to do a wine dinner. And we're doing a, and of course I'm drawing a blank on it, but we're doing, Brown Family Wine. And the CEO and founder of the winery is going to be here and,
awesome, man.
and work the wine dinner for us and tell the history of it. So you get to meet those people. And being in the business, too, we've gone to Napa, and they give you, if you're in the business and your reps call you, when you get to those wineries, dude, it's another world. They take you VIP touring these things, and it's really, really cool.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Hey, so real quick, man, in the 13 years that you've been in business, man, what's been the greatest lesson you think so far for you, not only as an entrepreneur, but as a chef and running this place, man? What would you say that is?
This is where we kind of go deep, Wiffy. About 2 years ago, I got back in the church. About 3 years ago, probably. And I always had a lot of beliefs in God. I was raised Catholic. I've always had a great fear of God, but I never had a relationship with God. And about 3 years ago, my fiance at the time, we were like, we both had this calling and trying to get back into church, and we did. And we go to Summit Church down here, and our pastor's great. I've known him for years, and he's been trying to get me back in the church. And 2 years ago, August, I got baptized again.
Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. I was baptized as a Catholic when I was little, but this was really my choice. And to kind of, give my life to God and entrust that He has a plan for me. And in all the years I've been a chef, and people will tell you who worked for me, 20, 15, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it's changed my life and who I am and what I do now, because everything I do has a different thought on it. I approach things with grace now, and not anger, not vengeful. Like if something screws up, I would take it personal. People mess up, And honestly, I could talk about a million things that, oh, this guy came in and he showed me this technique, or this, I met this salesperson who I became friends with. Now I get great pricing and stuff. But at the end of the day, God has changed my life. And it's something I'm very proud of. I wear it on my sleeve. And, people will be like, oh, dude, what are you doing? That stuff isn't real. And I've seen it. I've experienced it. And I see the change in my life. I see the change in my business. I see the change in everything, bro. It's crazy. And, it's so funny because outside of these four walls, the biggest change in my life, period, and the conversation is what's changed in my life. And it's made me a different man, a different person, a different everything. My my relationship with my daughter is just growing like crazy. My wife and I, it's my second marriage. We've been married almost 2 years now. And is it easy? No, by no means is it easy. But without God, I don't think anything can be easy. And it helps us deal with it. So that's what's changed in me, and I'm very proud of it. And everybody has a right to whatever they want to believe in, and I'm cool with that. And as a Christian now, I have beliefs that maybe other Christians don't. I mean, we're sitting here having a beer. Salute. But I don't get drunk anymore. I don't take it to that extreme. I have control of what I want. I know what's right for me, what's wrong for me. It just made me reassess my whole life and my values and how I treat people was the biggest thing because, I've had those reviews where it's like, oh, the chef is an asshole and he yells at people and he has a temper and he, and looking back on that stuff, I'm not proud of it. I'm not, but I can only fix what's ahead of me or change what's ahead of me. I can't change anything, but changing everything that's ahead of me and being a better person. So when I finally do leave this earth, at least someone's going to be like, yeah, he was a cool guy. Ran a good restaurant and he can cook pretty good.
Dude, thank you for sharing that, man, because number one, usually when I do a podcast, I'll ask people questions about God and their relationship with him or their belief or lack of, right? Try to get into that convo. But with you, I didn't have to, man. You just kind of shared it, man, and it shows your passion for your newfound faith, so to speak, and for what you believe, and it's bold, and I want to commend you for that, man, because, especially in the times that we live in now, man, not everybody is willing to come out and just, hey, this is who I am, this is what I believe, and this is it,
Yeah.
And you know what, dude, going back to like what you said, I also want to commend you, man, and tell you, hey, it's awesome to hear someone, especially a man, dude, open up, because for us men, it's hard to just admit certain things sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that you just kind of brought it up without me even asking it, dude, of course we all fall short, like the word says, right, of the glory of God, man. So we all have things. If you don't have shame or regrets, man, you have not lived, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And as a chef, and I've talked about it before, about the arrogance of a chef. And I've had it. I was working with a marketing lady several years ago, and I was doing morning shows. I was doing cooking demos, dude. I was doing like every couple weeks. I was on TV, and I was just like, dude, I'm hitting it, man.
You're
in front
him,
of you.
dude.
I had a guy come in and said, dude, can I get your autograph? I saw you on Fox News this morning cooking this and that. I'm like, dude, this is weird, right? But I kind of sucked it up, and I was like, my chest was pumping. And I was really about, I applied for all the top chefs and all this stuff. And I actually gotten far in a couple of them where I got like to the second interview, on-camera interview and stuff. And I was like going, I'm going to be this superstar. And all I wanted was this celebrity chef and all this wealth. And, I was in church one day and the pastor talked about Mark 8:36. And it's my favorite scripture. And it says, for what profits a man who gains the whole world only to forfeit his soul? And it hit me like, dude, what are you chasing? You want money, you want riches, you want fame. What good is it if I'm going to give up everything that I could possibly have? And I got friends like that, man. I got friends who just stupid money. Good people, but it's all about money, man. And it's all about, hey, guess what I did? Guess where I'm going? Oh, look at my new car. Look at this, look at that. And it's like, dude, do not forfeit your soul over that new car, and don't, you know. And I was that guy for a long time, bro. I just wanted the money, I wanted the fame, and I'm gonna be the best chef. And 2018, I got Phoenix New Times Reader's Choice Award, Best Chef Phoenix.
Look at you, dude.
And it was because of this community. I attributed all this. It was people just seeing my post and going online and voting for me. It was a Reader's Choice. But, dude, it's Phoenix, Arizona, a city of 4 million people, and I get the Reader's Choice Award, and we got a few other awards from some other magazines and stuff. And I was like, dude, the sky's the limit. But right now, I've never been happier. And I don't, and all that stuff, it's great. It really is. And it happens for a reason. But I was chasing it for so long. And now I'm just like, I want to be happy. I want to put good food on the table. I want to walk out here and see people enjoying themselves and having dinner together and being happy. And that gives me joy, man. It really does.
That's powerful, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm same boat, dude. I was just talking to my wife the other day, man, and for the first time in a long time, for some reason, man, I just started feeling shame, for things that I've done and stuff like that, looking back, reminiscing in life, but not just in a way where you go, oh, man, you cringe, but in a way where I really felt it, and it kind of messed with me for a while, for a couple days, and at the end of it all, I told my wife, I was like, hey, I'm glad I felt that because I don't know if I really felt that way before. And me not feeling that way, I don't think that's a good thing, man. Sometimes we have to kind of recognize where we've come from to appreciate God's grace,
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, man.
And I owe it all to my wife. And she's, we got together and we were both going down kind of a bad path. We were drinking a lot. Marijuana just got legal. So, woohoo, yeah, let's go. And it was like, just what are we doing here? What are we doing? We moved in together, and it was just like, this is just, everything doesn't feel right. Something's missing. And when we got back into church, we started realizing it. And, without her in my life right now, I don't know where I'd be because I was on a dark path, man. After I got divorced, I just went down a dark path. And it was, it's easy to, when you own a restaurant, and you have an unlimited amount of alcohol sitting here, and you have temptations of, you're the chef, and you got ladies coming in going, oh, you're so great, I love it, and it just started, it would go to your head, and it just, I'm so glad I am where I am and with the person I'm with right now because she's changed my life.
Where'd you guys meet, man?
We actually met here at the restaurant.
No way.
I mean, everyone's going to shame on me right now, but no, and I'm going to give the quick story because she hates it when I tell this story. It's, Dion was working for me. She worked for me for years, and we always just chatted. I always got along with all my employees and stuff, and never ever thought of anything inappropriate or anything like that with her. And I had gotten divorced, and I was like, well, I'm going to get back out there into the job market, per se, and tried all those dating apps and stuff, and was, meeting girls and trying to find someone that I can just go out with. And I would bring them to the restaurant because that was like, hey, come let me take you to my restaurant. Act like a big shot. Like I was telling you, just trying to get all this glory. And nothing would ever work out. I was just getting miserable from it. And it was a joke, man. And it was so hard to just find someone who was just real and this and that. So we're just sitting here one night, and a bunch of us after work, and we're having a drink. And Dion just looked at me. She goes, I'm surprised you never asked me out. How come you never asked me out? So I just looked at her and I said, well, what are you doing Thursday? And honestly, we've been together ever since.
How cool,
and
man.
It was just like, so I always say, whenever she complains about me, you wanted this. Remember, you wanted this. You asked for this.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things, and we just really, on a weird level, she's Native American.
Oh,
and
interesting,
I'm half Native. My dad was 100% Cherokee. My mom 100% Italian.
No way,
Yeah,
dude.
so my dad left when I was 2. I never knew my dad, grew up without my dad. So I grew up in my Italian grandmother's kitchen where I got the love of food. So when Deanna and I got together, man, it was like she's talking about all this Native stuff. And I'm like, wow, you're opening a side of me that I never, ever knew. And she took me to the reservation, and I saw how these people live. And it's just like, there's a whole world that everyone in this country doesn't even realize how bad the Native American population lives and the poverty they live through. And it was just like so eye-opening. I don't know if that gets the camera, but I got this tattoo. That's the seal of the Cherokee Nation.
Oh, interesting. Dude.
So it kind of brought me, her getting it with me brought me this whole touch to the whole nother side of my life I never really embraced. Because I never knew my dad. I never knew my grandparents. I had a half brother and sister I've never met. Maybe they'll see this and reach out to me, but you never know.
Yeah.
But so we just connected on this really deep, deep level. And then it was like, yeah, we're hanging out, we're having a good time, we're drinking, we're doing this, we're doing that. And it's like, there's got to be more to life than this. And we got back in the church, man. And it's,
Dude,
here we are.
awesome, brother.
Here we are. I'm sitting with you
My
having a
brother from
podcast.
another mother,
Yes.
but the same spiritual father.
There you go. I love that. I love that, man.
Dude, awesome, man. Hey, you mentioned something earlier, dude, that your relationship with your daughter is getting better and stuff like that, dude. I don't want to get into those weeds, but what I do want to ask is a question related to that. First of all, do you have more kids than just a daughter? Or
Yeah, and that's a little deep subject about my ex-wife's kids that, you know, I love them deeply. But after the divorce, a lot of things went rough through that path. And, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that.
Yeah, no, we won't.
And if
We
they
won't.
do see this, and then let them know I love them, I miss
Right,
them. But
right.
it's just one of those things where, you know, I wasn't the best person. I was a bad, not good person to their mother. And I don't blame them for how they feel about me. I'm a changed person. I'm a better person. And hopefully someday they give me a chance. But my biological daughter, she's an awesome girl. She works in a professional sport. She actually works for the Indiana Fever, so she's a
Get out, dude.
Yeah, so you want to meet Caitlin Clark? I
Dude,
got you.
I do.
No, so it's really cool. So I always say she's just a beast out there in a man's world. So she manages all the communication for the Indiana Fever. So basically, it's like all the press, and she's gonna call me and say, "Dad, I don't do that." But as far as, you know, she gets me tickets for the games. That's all I know, man. And I get to meet the players. All right. So,
dude, what a connection, dude.
yeah, but
That's
it's cool.
crazy.
Yeah, we went to Vegas to see him play, and I'm chatting with Caitlin Clark's parents. And
Nah.
coolest, dude, I got to tell you a dad moment, which was like the best thing. And Jacqueline, my daughter, you got to know how proud I am of you. We go to the Vegas game, and it was a bad game. They lost, but we went down in the tunnel. All the friends and family are waiting, you know, so I'm down there. We're just kind of chilling, and Caitlin Clark's dad is there. So I say, "Hey, Mr. Clark, I want to introduce myself. My name's Steve Maynard. My daughter Jackie is the communications, I think VP of communications." And he looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, Jackie's your daughter? Caitlin loves your daughter. The last guy who was doing the job, he wasn't doing great, but man, Jackie is all over it." And I'm sitting here going, wait a second. The best basketball player in the world right now is talking to her dad about how great my daughter is. I was like, dude, I'm there to talk about your daughter. And he's just telling me how his daughter, Caitlin Clark, is talking about my daughter, you know, at Christmas table. Hey, I got to tell you about Jackie Maynard. It's like, dude, what a great dad moment. That was like, out of all the dad moments, it's like, wow, my daughter is real. She's a real deal.
She is the real deal,
She is
dude.
the real
Because it's
deal.
hard to get into those to that world.
She
dude,
did,
you
yeah.
know?
And she went to school. She took communications and marketing, and I'll never forget. She called me one day and she said, "Hey, the school wants me to come work for them, and they'll pay for my master's. What do you think I should do?" I'm like, "Yeah, go have them pay for your master's." So she took another 2 years. They paid for it, and she was doing that job with the school that she was at, the college she was at, and she's done her internship with the Philadelphia Flyers. Worked for the New York Flash soccer team with Abby Wambach. Then she was in Orlando working for Orlando City Soccer and the Orlando Pride. She was their communications manager down there. I think she was there almost 10 years in Orlando. And then someone met her through some connection and said, "Hey, I'm with the Indiana Fever. I remember you from here. We have a job opening. What do you think?" And I told her, "Jacqueline, it's Caitlin Clark. Just go there." And I said, because my daughter has a championship ring from the soccer.
No
and
way.
It's a real deal championship ring. And I
Get
actually
out.
posted it on Facebook. I'm like, my daughter officially has more championship rings than Charles Barkley. So, but it's like, she's in a great spot now where she's going to, build her resume. And I told her, my goal for you is you're going to be a GM for a basketball team or something sooner or later. And she's like, "Dad, I don't want that." So why not? She goes, "GMs get fired all the time." So I said, "You're a smart kid." She goes, "I like where I am. Middle management is good for me."
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
NFL, speaking of getting fired, is going haywire right now, dude.
I
Like
I don't know. You're a Cardinals fan, obviously, right?
yeah, I guess you can say, for sure, because people are going to see this for sure. I rep the Cardinals, but I used to be a San Diego Charger fan just because that's where I grew up, you know?
Yeah.
But then they moved to L.A., and I ripped and burned my jersey,
I
dude.
could imagine. Dude, I'm a Browns fan, so when they left Cleveland back in the day, I didn't watch football till they came back to Cleveland. I knew nothing about, you should like the Ravens. And they go to Baltimore, and they win a Super Bowl, and
Right.
it's like, but I'm a Browns fan, man, so my life is just miserable as far as football's concerned.
Yeah,
so.
it's been a rough couple years for you guys, man.
Couple
yeah.
decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just seeing that. I didn't know the quarterback for I forget his name, dude. For the Buccaneers, used to be your guys.
Baker Mayfield,
Dude,
yeah.
Mayfield, bro. They traded him, dude. I was like,
know,
man, what
dude,
a
that's what they do. They ruin my life.
right.
Yeah. My wife always says, she's like, yeah, when I die, I'm going to have the whole Cardinals team as my pallbearer so they can let me down one last time.
Dude, that's funny, man.
Yeah.
Hey, if any representative of the Cardinals is listening, man, hey, but we love you guys. But I
Yes.
did go to the game because my buddy just recently he owns some season tickets. So I have two buddies that own season tickets. I just found out because I went to the first one and then I got a call from the second one and he's like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, dude."
Yeah.
But all that to say, dude, we were at the one game where they played Tennessee. And Tennessee was like, hadn't won a game at all that season, dude.
Yeah.
And we were winning all the way through the fourth quarter, dude. And in the fourth quarter, like the last 5 minutes, they did this miraculous comeback, dude.
That's when the guy dropped the ball on the 1 yard line,
Yes.
though.
We were like their one win for Tennessee, dude. It was like,
You want to hear the funny part of your story now? I'll tell you.
yeah.
Cardinals and Browns are in our house. Guess who the second win for Tennessee was?
No
The
way.
Cleveland Browns. And my wife and I are watching, same thing. Browns come out of the thing, they're winning, and I looked at Dion and I'm like, the only wins they're going to have this year
Right.
against our teams. It was so awful.
How sad, dude.
Yeah, but then they beat the Chiefs, which was good. So
Dude, the second time I went, my buddy, shout out to my friend David Garcia, man, out at Rodeo Ford. If you guys need a car, go visit him, the general manager out there. Super cool guy, man. And he's like, "Hey, you want to go to the suite level?" I was like, 10-4, dude. So it's his first time, never experienced it, dude. Went and had a blast with my kids, but we ended up losing. I forget who we played at. I think it was the Falcons. But they were selling season tickets, and I don't have that kind of money, man,
Yeah.
but I was getting excited. I was just starting conversation with the lady anyways. I'm like, "Yeah, tell me all the details." And then she's like, "Yeah, this, and that." And for 4 tickets at that level, I think you were looking at like 12 grand or something like that, you know? And I was thinking to myself, like, "Oh, how can I make that happen?" I was scratching my head.
You got a payment plan?
Yeah, and then I went home and I was like, once I thought through it, I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna go to these games and they're gonna suck, dude." So I'm not buying no season tickets, man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's it. And that's the sad thing. And they have, it's like everything. They got so much potential. They have a good core foundation. They're just missing a few parts. And growing up in upstate New York, we're close to Buffalo, but I was never a Bills fan. And then the Giants and the Jets were way down in New York City. So we never had like a home. I mean, if we want to go see a game, you're driving an hour and a half to Buffalo, fighting traffic. It's an event. But being in Arizona, we got sports everywhere. I could
Right.
we went to opening day at the Cardinals, and it was so funny because we were like, Dion said, "Hey, I want to go somewhere where I can hear the game, watch the game, and we're gonna go with my buddy." And he kind of at the last minute he goes, "Hey man, something came up. We can't meet you for wherever we're gonna go to have beers and watch the game." So I said, "Dion, where do you want to go?" She goes, "I don't care, anywhere you want, but I want to be able to go somewhere where I can hear the game." I said, went on my phone, and it was like $60 for tickets. I was like, "I got a spot, you can go."
Yeah.
And we drove there, and we got in the stadium, and I'm talking to the kid sitting next to me. He asked something about tickets and stuff. I said, "Dude, an hour ago I was sitting on my couch, didn't even know I was going to be here." But that's what's so great about the city. In a
Yeah.
half hour, you're at a game.
Yeah, for sure.
Basketball, football. Well, we
For
lost
sure.
our hockey team, but
Yeah.
and I grew up I'm a big Boston Bruins hockey fan. So hockey is, I just love it. It's my favorite sport.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
find a lot of hockey fans, dude.
Well,
you know?
New York,
Yeah.
there's not much to do in the winter. And then we had a pond, and we
Oh,
skated
the
a
whole
lot.
9
and,
yards, dude.
so I love hockey, and it really stunk when they lost that team, and it was something cool. But hockey is a tough one.
Yeah.
When you got 40 games a year and that stadium's so far away from downtown, it's hard to get people to drive all the way out for hockey.
Right.
You'll drive anywhere for a football game.
Right. I think they were thinking of moving to Scottsdale at one point, dude.
Yeah, and
and-
then the city's all just.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it is what it is. So.
Yeah. Dude, going back to your daughter's situation,
Yeah.
not that I want to talk about that,
No.
but I wanted to ask you another question regarding that. for us, man, that are entrepreneurs too, man, that some of us are just starting, dude, starting off, so to speak, and we're going on new ventures. What was your experience like, man, and what did you learn, and what advice can you not only give me but the audience, man, of how to navigate, that that balance between family life and business, and just from your personal experience, man?
Yeah, I think my biggest issue is, or was, I was a control freak. I had to have control of everything. And it was the hardest change I had to make, is knowing that you can't do everything all by yourself. And hiring the right people, putting the systems in place are the most important things. And, I still struggle with it because I work, and I could go back in that kitchen right now and knock out 30 things, and people are looking at me go like, what are you doing? And it's all right here in my head. But getting it on paper so everybody knows what I'm doing is the important thing, and putting those systems in place is the most important thing, because you can't be there all the time. And I've started to learn, I would say Wolfgang Puckey, I think he has 38 restaurants. And Wolfgang, if you're listening, I know you usually text me about this time, but he's not at all those restaurants. He might not be at any of them, but for some reason they do run. And he has a balance with what he does. So that's the most important thing, is hiring the right people, putting the systems in place, and holding people accountable for those things is very, very important. And I'm still learning it to this day, because like I said, I'm a control freak, and it's like, if it's not seasoned perfectly, it's like, oh dude, come on, man, it's just salt. What are you doing? So it's the toughest thing. But if I were to do it all over again, I think I would have spent a little more time in the office preparing the systems so that they ran through the business. And I'll shout out to my guy Arturo from Tacos Chilangos. And what I know about that guy, and I don't know how many restaurants he have, 4 or 5 now, maybe?
I don't know, man.
But he's dialed it in, and he's figured out how to scale those businesses where he doesn't have to. And I see him every once in a while at the shop, and I think he just does it because he likes to be there. And he's, but I think that guy's really, and I'm going to reach out to him one of these days, and I want to pick his brain, because he's a guy, and I think you should too, because he's figured out how to take a fast casual business, which I consider what you're looking to do is that, but he's figured out how to scale it and make it work without him at every restaurant and be profitable at those locations too. So I think that's the biggest thing, is to really systems and hiring the right people who, and I know it's tough, but you have to pay people and treat them right. And when they're happy at their job, they're gonna do everything they can for you. And I see that, and you can tell the people that are happy, the people who are unhappy. And I don't think anybody's ever, without having a relocation situation or something happen drastically in their life, I don't think anybody ever quit here that was truly happy. People always leave because they're unhappy, or they do things because they're unhappy. And I think the happy people stay, even knowing they can go somewhere else and do a little bit better, but don't know what it's going to be like. So I think, making your staff enjoy their job. Dutch Brothers has figured it out, man. I mean, you go through Dutch Brothers, nobody in there is having a bad day.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Right? And how do you know these kids had a bad day? This kid hasn't even slept in 2 days. He's been playing video. How is he so happy? But man, they figured it out.
Yeah.
They've created a culture.
Yeah, culture for sure. Yeah, they've tapped into it for sure, dude.
And I think that's the way a lot of the industry's going, is creating those cultures like that.
Right on, man.
That's important.
Yeah, right on. So recently, so I have a few friends that are businessmen as well, dude, and one of them is I guess in a way starting to become like a mentor to me. He's real estate agent Juan. I'm forgetting his last name right now, man, but he gave me a book, man, and he the book was not what's the title of the book? Who Not How. And so long story short, man, the book, basically the premise of the book is just like, you got to find your who's and stop wasting time on the how, and it talks about scaling business and stuff like that. And so just to piggyback on what you just said, man, find the right people, put them in that space, and pay them well, you know, and they'll help you scale, and you don't have to worry about the how, and you won't waste time. Go figure out, or go spend your time on the things that you know you are good and do well to continue scaling your business.
And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And you know, we have a business here that's Tempo, and it like I said, I think our first conversation today was it's a chef-driven restaurant.
Right.
It's tough to break that mold because I'm the chef and I'm driving it. So how do you scale that business? So my goal is to scale my corporation business, you know what I mean, and diversify into some things that are scalable, because you know, it's such a niche that we have here. I love running specials. I love experimenting with good food. But if I could find the chef that would do that and have the passion, you know, I'll give you a kitchen. If you're out there, I'll, you know, come in, walk in the door, and we can work together and eventually move into this role. But we have such a loyal customer base that I think they get scared if they hear, oh my gosh, Steve's leaving. We can't go there. What if the food isn't good? And I actually have people come in and I'll be out there. Are you cooking? Sometimes people, no kidding, people think I cook everything in that kitchen. You know, and it's like they've never seen the inner workings of the kitchen and what it is. And some nights we'll have 7 chefs back there, and everybody has their own thing they're working on in different departments, and saute and fry and grill and oven and garage, and then you have a guy expoing, a guy garnishing stuff. There's so many hands in everything. But it's like, oh, I knew you were back there tonight. Our food was so great. And I'm like, dude, I was in my office doing paperwork. And I'll say thank you for the compliment because I had nothing to do with this food. And I know my guys are doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
So that's the secret right there. When they think you're back there and everything's working, it's great. But when the minute they're like, oh, my God, he's leaving? Where's he going? So getting those systems in place. And, you know, I've eaten a lot of celebrity chef restaurants, and I've never seen from – you know, I've been to the French Laundry a few times. I've Bobby Flay's, Gordon Ramsay's, Wolfgang. I mean, I've never seen those guys in there, and the food is always mostly good, pretty good. French Laundry, always good.
Right on, man. Right on, dude. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm getting ready to embark on my own little journey, man.
Which we are so excited about.
Yeah, thank you, man. And kind of going back to the who, not how, man. Part of what the book said is like, you know, find those people that will help carry your vision, man. So I know you mentioned the guy from Chilangos. What's his name?
Arturo.
Arturo's my guy, dude. I met him before. He's a great guy. I've seen him around town, and he's an awesome dude. But I mentioned that to give him his credit too. And I say that because I was going to mention my who, I guess, you know. But for me, it's the owner of Rosie's Tacos, dude.
Oh, Oscar, man. Yeah, of course.
Oscar Breeze. He not only were we friends for a long time, man, but he just kind of like sat down with me one day and he was like, hey, man, what's your vision? What's next for WIFFY's, you know? And so I was like, this and that, man. And he was like, hey, man, I believe in that and I want to invest in that and I want to help you grow, you know? So
what an amazing thing.
Yeah. So long story short, man, he became my who, you know? Yeah. And with him, you know, I guess it was funny because I'll share something real quick behind the scenes for WIFFY's. My wife, she has experience with the drinks, right? She used to be a Starbucks store manager for 5 years when Starbucks was Starbucks, you know, back in the early 2000s, like 2010, that era. But all that to say that she's like the expert with the drinks, right? And she has the Midas touch, not just for coffee, but for other stuff. And then, you know, Oscar, he brings the experience with growth, you know?
Yeah.
And
guy who can scale businesses.
Yeah, the guy who can scale businesses, dude. I think, I don't know if you saw the podcast we did with him, but I asked him, I was like, hey, man, I didn't even know, and I was his friend, and I was like, how many restaurants have you opened? He was like, I think I'm at 30, dude, you know, across state lines.
Yeah.
So he'll bring in that aspect of it. Hopefully we can scale WIFFY's to that scale.
Absolutely.
You know?
And you have such a great concept.
Yeah.
That's so, yeah, it's so
and
cool.
then I was talking to my cousin about it, and he was like, dude, what do they need you for, dog? You know?
Yeah, yes.
But all that to say, dude, that I'm the connector, I'm the community guy, you know, I guess you can say, not in an arrogant way, but just like the face of the business, you know, like
the visionary.
The visionary, you know?
Yeah.
And so I love connecting with the community, dude. Like I said, through my food truck, that's what we did.
Yeah.
And build relationships, that's my jam, you know? I love doing the podcast because it helps me expound on that, you know? Meet people that I've never met before, you know? And then also learn from your guys' you know, experience, you know, your trajectory. And so, but yeah, man, we're excited. We hope to make WIFFY's the one-stop spot for your favorite drink. You know, so we're kind of bringing all the different flavors together.
So you're gonna have a liquor license.
Yes, no, I'm kidding.
My favorite drink, no.
not
Yes,
non-alcoholic.
no.
You know,
The stuff you're doing is pretty cool, and I've seen or imagined this tip of the iceberg of what you're doing, because we chatted about it months ago when we first kind of connected.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to see, I don't want to reveal too much because that's your whole thing, but I'm excited about it, man. We talked a little bit before we sat down here today, and a lot of people are going to be excited about it.
Yeah, thank you, man. And just to see the response from the community has been awesome, man. And yeah, thank you, man.
People in this community love locally owned. They love the family business. And I'll share just something really quick. I mean, we all went through COVID. Dude, this community saved us. And I'll tell you what, and I'm thankful for everybody who helped us out through that time. My world was over. I mean, I had a motorcycle, I sold it. I'm liquidating everything. I'm trying to, trade it out my truck to buy something cheaper. I'm like, we're going under. What am I going to do? And then people started showing up, and it's like, hey, I want to buy $1,000 worth of gift cards. We come here all the time. I might as well do it now. And hey, we want to do this, and we want to do this for you, and give this to your servers, and let's help you do this. And we started doing. They were letting us do that to-go food, and people were lined up out the door. And I was doing, a couple sandwiches and fish fries, and they were letting us do alcohol. We had pitchers of margaritas, and doing. People were lined up, dude. We came out of COVID and had the best year sales-wise ever. Ever. I mean, it's gotten better since, but I'm thinking, man, we're coming out of COVID. How are we going to survive even after this? This community rallied and supported every business in this community and brought us back, the proverbial phoenix from the ashes. And it was amazing in this community, and they just have such love for us, and it goes right back to them. And it was the support. I can't even express how great it was, because I was done. My dream was over. And here we are. And this community was just like, here, $1,000. Here's $500. Here's $50. But every single day it was just money coming in. And it was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Dude, thank you for sharing that, man. Not going to lie, dude. I think for the concept that we have, the drive-through is like a big piece to its success. But I remember talking to Oscar at first, and I was like, I don't know about that, man, because I want to drive through, and I remember what he said. He was like, you know what, dude? Out of all my restaurants, I can say that the one in Verrado is one of like the highest grossing. He's like, it's the community.
Yeah.
He's like, and the way it's designed and the relationships that you've already built there, he's like, people will support, and there's a lot of foot traffic, and it's just that community, he said.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong. I understand why you want the drive-through, but let's start it here. And he was like, not only that, but think about the story. Like, you started in technically your hometown,
Yeah. It's
so,
such a great story, man.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what, dude? Yeah, I guess you're right. And so we took that risk, man. But hey, real quick, man. Again, kind of starting to shut things down, dude.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you again for having us here, man.
Dude, this was my pleasure.
Yeah.
And in the restaurant, what a cool vibe. I wish the cameras could panoramic around and
Dude,
stuff. But
we're gonna capture some footage for sure.
that'd be
so
awesome.
We can show.
Yeah.
But also, I want to say that thank you for allowing us to be the first experience in a live setting, dude. I thought that was cool. I felt good, dude. And maybe this will prepare us. We eventually want to do like a live podcast and just kind of invite people and just have a good time.
I love it.
Yeah. So. But all that to say, dude, that what are some closing words that you would want to share with the audience, man? It could be anything you want, whether, experience-wise or just things that are coming or like, what's happening with the restaurant, whatever you want, man, whatever's in your heart, dude. I just want to say, go for it, dude.
Yeah, it's back to the original thing. We're so blessed to have the people in our lives here, the customer base that we have. Our customer base is growing like crazy. I mean, we get people from all over the valley now who travel out here to give us their money, and it's just, it's sometimes it just amazes me with all the options that people have nowadays that they chose to come here. I think it's just such a blessing for us that they do that. And, I'm just real proud of everybody involved. I'm proud of my staff. I'm proud of, my wife and I and how hard and her heart that she puts into it. Our manager, Reese, who has been our general manager, we hired her like 6 months ago, and she's doing a great job for us, and she's invested, and she's, drank the proverbial Kool-Aid, and, thinking about moving to this community. That's one of the things that's so unreal. And I wish we had 3 hours to talk, but you don't know how many people will come in here and they're like, I was looking for a house and I had dinner out on your patio and I'm watching people walk by and I got this feeling this is the place I need to live. And it's because of your restaurant and we change lives. And in such a little minuscule way at times, we change lives. And in every aspect of it, I literally had a woman, and as crazy as it sounds, she's like, we had dinner here with my dad one night. And we left dinner, and he went to the hospital, and he passed away. And the last meal he had was at your restaurant. And we have that, bro. We had the breakfast with Santa here, and that's this lady sitting in Santa's lap. I had the little baby sitting in Santa's lap. And I said, do you realize that forever this picture will be in their home? The first time this baby sat on Santa's lap was in our restaurant. And you start putting all this together, bro, and what an impact we have on people's lives. That's what my grandmother taught me cooking was. And I started this conversation telling you I was rolling ravioli out when I was 5 years old with my grandmother. Food was always on our table, 24/7. And if you stopped in the house to ask directions, you were having dinner with us. And that's how I grew up. And it's a very special place to be at a table having dinner with people and feeding people the joy they get. And sometimes it's just a great feeling to just stand here and look around and look at all the happy faces because of what you put on their table. So, like I said, truly blessed, love what I do, love my guests, and my heart and soul is in everything I do. And I'm just happy to have this life and the ability that people are willing to give me that chance to serve them.
That's awesome, dude.
Amazing.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I can only imagine with the restaurant, dude,
Yeah, it's not all like that every day, but man,
I'm sure.
it's all you got to do is see the people who are just like, this was great, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, do me a favor. Look at the camera, man. Look at the audience, dude.
Yes.
And let them know where they can find you, website, social media,
Yes,
man.
we are Tempo Urban Bistro. We're located in Verrado, 21067 West Main Street, Buckeye, Arizona, 85396. Check out our website. Our website's very, very informative. It's a really great built website. Buy gift cards if you know people who live here in Verrado and you want to buy them a special treat or you want to come down, check it out. We do a lot of specials. We do a Tomahawk Tuesday, 40-ounce Tomahawk, $110 with 2 sides, 2 salads. We got a great Valentine's menu. It's posted up on our website. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I do have kind of a side project that I'm kind of working on. It's a YouTube channel, TikTok, and Instagram page. It's called The Kitchen Raised Me.
Cool.
And I got a few things on there I haven't really launched. I've been kind of, dabbing around, but I want to kind of do what you're doing here, but I want to get out there and just meet some restaurateurs and talk about what's going on in this business from a chef's perspective, there's a lot of bloggers out there who are, hey, I'm here today, I'm eating this, I'm trying this, but I have a lot of guys that work really hard out there, and I love to just give awareness of what goes through an average day, of how hard these people work and what they miss in their families' lives and stuff like that. But check us out on Tempo, check out The Kitchen Raised Me, check out our Instagram page. Let's bump those followers up and definitely check out this podcast. And we're going to flood the market. We're going viral, baby. We're going viral. But
man.
I checked out your podcast. I saw it online. I called you. I was like, bro, how do I get to sit down and talk with you? Because what you're doing is really cool.
Cool, man. I appreciate
really
it,
cool.
dude.
No.
And behind the scenes on that, dude, I just want to say you lifted my spirits, man, because I had just started, dude. I started back in June 2025, and I think we were like a month in or something like that, dude, and you sent me the message. It just lifted my spirits because I was like, man, people are reaching out now, man.
Dude, and it's just, it's such a, and it's one of those things where you just got a cool thing going, man. You got the vibe. You're a good guy. You're a good family man, and you're doing the right thing.
Appreciate it, dude.
Just doing the right thing. Just sitting down having a beer, man. Just sitting down,
Awesome,
empty
man.
beer. We got to get another one of those. But
hey, real quick. Oh, snap. Real quick, dude. Totally forgot to ask you about it,
Yes.
dude. But so my really good friend, dude, Stanley Serrano, dude.
My man.
Dude, he told me the story of how you guys met and how you gave him an opportunity out here and stuff, dude. He was my neighbor. I just sold my house, but literally my neighbor, dude.
Yeah,
And
let me check this out because Stanley, who doesn't know, check out Stanley Serrano, Facebook. He's got everything. He's one of the most professional, talented people I've ever met in my life, and he plays here quite often.
I think he said
February 5th.
Yeah, February 5th.
He'll be back here.
he said.
So every Thursday night, we do live music. We got Jake Dean, one of my very good friends, playing tomorrow. If you like that, Dave Matthews type music, this guy kills it. Stanley Serrano, Chris Lewis, Ricky Harris. I mean, we got so many great musicians that play here who are true professionals on Thursday night. If you want to just get out and chill with us, hang out, listen to some great music, 6 to 9 p.m. And Stanley, dude, I can't say enough about this guy. He plays all over the West Valley.
Yeah.
All over Phoenix.
Yeah,
I
all over
shouldn't say that.
Phoenix,
He plays everywhere. He's got
Yeah.
a band. He does musical productions and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, he does, dude.
Dude,
His level of musicianship.
check
dude.
out that podcast
Appreciate
with
it.
Stanley because I did watch that one. And check out, Anthem. You did Brian. I mean, you got some cool stuff. Saucy Luke.
Yes.
He just drove by Wednesday's his night. I almost flagged him in to come and sit with us too.
Did he say hi or no?
He slowed down. He was
he
trying
slowed
to
down?
check out. See, I think he saw you, so I think he was checking out what was going on. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
probably already hit you up to say what's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
But man,
I'll
we
check
got
it
a
out.
lot of great restaurateurs. We got a lot of great people doing really good independent stuff out here. Get out there, man. Go to an independent restaurant, sit at the bar, talk to the locals, ask for the chef. It's cool, man. Love it.
Right on, brother. Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate your time, dude. And for all of you guys watching the WIFFY Real podcast, man, I forget what episode this is, man, but I'll put it up on the description. And like we always say when we're closing out, baby, hoorah! Catch you guys next time, man.